Hello! So, it is day 24. We're currently on the GR10 staying in a nice bothy. And we thought it would be a good time because normally our trekking poles are busy, engaged in their jobs as our shelter poles, to do a review of the Terra speed hike trekking poles. So we have a pair each. This is my pair, this is Finn's pair. Feature-wise, one single pole bit. It doesn't collapse very small, so it's pretty difficult to transport on a plane. We managed it, but that does make things a little bit more difficult, and it extends very, very long. So I normally use it only at this size, and then for my shelter about this height. So overall, I want to say that I do like this pole a lot. It's fairly light, and I've been pretty happy with it. But there are also a lot of issues with it. So the first issue was the default handle that it came with. It came with like this sort of gimmicky special thing that your hand went into, and it was all like supposed to be comfortable, that I found just didn't work at all. Not only was it just uncomfortable to hold and didn't hold your weight like a proper strap, but it slid, so like you couldn't adjust it tight. It would then immediately loosen to its longest length. So overall I thought that was a bit rubbish, and instead we added in our own just standard 20mm webbing that we had lying around, traditional style handles, so you hold them like this. And these handles I really like. Like, I put all my weight on it just like this, really strong, and I'm really happy with it. And the caulking on the handles is really nice. I would say though that if you didn't use their strap or use an improvised strap, it would be an awful handle. It's got almost no real texture or shape to it. It's actually V-shaped like this. So if you're not actually holding onto it with the strap, your hand will just slide down. It's a pretty poor handle. But like this, I really like it. I think it's brilliant. I also really like the mono pole thing, you know, with just one movement instead of two. Even though it's longer, I mean, I hardly ever transport it. I'm using it pretty much all the time. I think in total I've only not used it for maybe an hour walking through some towns once or twice. But just having only one point of failure, you know, is definitely the way to go, instead of having two that can break just as easily. They're loaded in series mechanically anyway, so you're just twice as likely to fail if you have two of them. This is really strong. I've not had it collapse on me at all throughout the whole walk so far. It's not slowly crept down during the day. You can tighten it up with this little dialy bit here if it does become a bit loose. And overall, just brilliant mechanically, very strong. We do use them for our shelters as well, so I always use them like this way around for the shelters. I would say that this one here, I'm not sure if you can see it, there's a little section of cork missing from it. Because one day when I was using it in my shelter, I was trying to hammer a rock in to the ground next to it because I was worried it was going to slide out in the night. I was on a hill, and I hit that and nicked it away, so that was totally my fault. I don't think that would have happened had you just been using it normally. So I like the design. I really like the handles that I've got on it, and it works really well, but the default ones are awful. And all that's stopping me from really being happy with it is the tips. So I've said before that I'm very hard on them. I think I've said already that I'm very hard on the poles. We use them all the time, properly putting loads of load on them through the rocks, through everything, and it has just destroyed the tips. After 10 days, the tungsten tips, I think it was tungsten carbide, it might not have been, but whatever the tipping material was, totally broke off, snapped, and then, if you come and bring the camera over, Finn. So it used to have like a big section of, so imagine this section of metal, this used to come out probably to about here. So there was a lot more metal on the end, and then there was a tungsten carbide tip probably out to around about here. And this tip, you see on Finn's, the tungsten's gone and it's worn all the way to the metal there. On my ones, I've got one of them, I've then worn through all of the plastic, and now I'm starting to wear through the metal of the pole. And on this one here, you can see I've actually worn through the plastic. Oh, actually no, I don't think I've fully worn through the first bit of metal yet, so. Day 27, I thought I'd film a quick update to the tips of the poles. You can see I've worn straight through anything that could be considered tipping material,
and I'm now abrading the actual pole itself.
By the end of the walk, I think there's going to be very little left. I would not be surprised if it was worn to here by the end of the walk, because the rate of wearing just seems to be getting faster and faster and faster. So, yeah, I mean, that's a shame, isn't it? The poles have worn down so quickly. I don't know whether any pole, to be fair, could have sustained the abuse that we've been giving them. I'm not sure, but pretty much all of the poles I've ever seen look like they have very similar tiny little tip things, and I really don't think that unless there was like a solid centimetre and a half diameter of tungsten, whatever, like that's what it would have taken to survive the abuse we've been giving these things. So maybe I'm expecting too much from the poles. This is my second set of poles I own. The first ones are like some super cheap ones from Amazon, and I destroyed them as well. These ones are a bit more expensive. I can't remember exactly how much they cost, but they've also been destroyed. Really though, if they hadn't been destroyed, I would love them. I'm hoping that when I get home, I'll be able to like saw off the ends and put in some really big hardened steel bolts into the ends. And if I were to do that, and it works out, you know, I would say it was the perfect pole, because just I love having only one point of failure, one, you know, strong bit on it. They're fairly lightweight. So that would be great if we could do that, but we'll see. The other thing that's a slight issue is all of the markings have worn off the poles. So you can see there's some markings here and then just nothing here. I think that's the only reason this bit here hasn't worn away is because I never really closed them any further. They're always just moving through this section here for pitching the tent. And that is a bit annoying as well. It's not a problem, something I couldn't fix. You know, when I get back, I have to take a file to it and put some markings in, but it would have been nice if they had filed them in themselves, or, you know, made something a bit more durable. So, great design, but handle's a bit rubbish, and the tips get destroyed.
Just gonna get a closer for one of the poles. So that's the handle, and our rope loops moving down is just an aluminium outer shell. And we got the adjustment bit here.
Oh, another quick point.
Then all the way down.
Yeah, another quick point. People talk about wrapping storing duct tape on the outside of their poles as like a good way to store duct tape. It doesn't work at all. The duct tape just gets destroyed, as you can see. The only reason we haven't taken it off is that my duct tape's on the top and Finn's is on the bottom, so store your duct tape in your backpack, not on your poles.